Have you ever been there? You're at a crossroads, and you've got this gut feeling pulling you in one direction, but then there's this other, frantic voice in your head that's just screaming the total opposite. One of those is your guide, and the other, well, it's a saboteur. But how do you tell which is which? In this explainer, we're going to figure out how to tell the difference between that quiet signal of your intuition and the loud, overwhelming noise of anxiety.
I mean, think about a real-life situation. Let's say you get a job offer, and on paper it looks absolutely perfect. But there's this quiet little feeling inside that just says, something isn't right here. At the same time, a loud inner critic is yelling, "Are you crazy? You'll never get another chance like this." So which voice do you trust? We're about to break down exactly how to distinguish a real, genuine warning from simple, baseless worry.
Okay, let's dive right in. The very first step is just to understand what these two signals actually are. I mean, they come from totally different places and they speak in totally different ways. And once you really see that contrast, telling them apart gets so much easier.
Here's a great way to think about it. Your intuition is like a calm, experienced advisor. It gives you a piece of information quietly, trusting that you'll hear it and know what to do. Anxiety, on the other hand, it's like a faulty fire alarm that's just blaring. It's loud, it's frantic, and it insists that everything is a 5-alarm emergency that needs to be dealt with right now.
So that's the big picture. But how do you do this in practice, when you're in the middle of it? Well, we're going to walk through 7 key distinctions. Think of this as your personal toolkit, a series of quick tests you can run anytime you feel that internal tug of war to figure out which voice is really talking. All right, our very first test is also the simplest one. Just listen. Listen to the actual quality of the voice itself. Is it calm, or is it kind of chaotic? The tone alone tells you almost everything you need to know about where it's coming from. You can see it right here. Intuition is just a quiet knowing. It doesn't need to yell because it's confident. It's just neutral information. Anxiety is the complete opposite. It's loud, it's urgent, it's frantic, because its fuel isn't facts, its fuel is fear.
Okay, next up, let's talk about the emotion that's latched onto the thought. This one's a big one. Your feelings are an incredibly powerful tool for figuring this out. So what's the emotional flavor of the message you're getting?
Your intuition feels like data. It might not be information you like a gut feeling that says this person isn't trustworthy, but it's delivered factually, without any panic. Anxiety, though, is always wrapped in fear. It doesn't give you data, it gives you a catastrophe.
All right, our third distinction boils down to one simple question. Where is this thought trying to lead your attention? Is it constructive, pointing you towards some kind of solution? Or is it just destructive, keeping you stuck in the mud?
Intuition is always forward-looking. It's like a helpful GPS. It might say, hey, this road is blocked. Let's find another way. It's trying to help. Anxiety, on the other hand, just gets stuck. It obsesses over the problem, replaying all the worst-case scenarios over and over without ever actually offering a way out. It just spins and spins. And now for what might be the most powerful test of all, your body's reaction. See, your mind can get really confused and tangled up in knots, but your body rarely lies. So pay super close attention to the physical feelings that pop up with the thought. Intuition often feels expansive, grounding. It's like a sense of peace or certainty that settles deep in your gut or in your heart. You feel like you can take a full breath. Anxiety feels constricted, that tightness in your chest, that lump in your throat, that jittery, nervous energy that just makes you want to shrink and hide.
Okay, for our 5th test, let's look at the pattern of the thought itself. Does the message show up once, with real clarity, or does it just harass you on an endless, nagging loop?
This one is such a dead giveaway. Intuition delivers its message, and then it goes quiet. It trusts that you heard it. Anxiety, though, is a bully. It shouts the same obsessive thought at you over and over and over, and it usually gets louder and more frantic the more you try to ignore it.
For distinction number 6, let's think about the quality of the message. Is it simple and direct, or is it a tangled, confusing mess of 100 different possibilities?
Intuition cuts right through all the noise. It delivers a simple, clear truth. It's that deep knowing. You might not even understand why you know it, but the message itself is crystal clear. Anxiety, on the other hand, creates the noise. It's just a confusing jumble of what-ifs and second-guessing and tangled, chaotic thoughts.
And finally, our 7th and last test. For this one, I want you to strip away all the emotion and all the noise, and just ask yourself this. What is this voice ultimately telling me to do? What is its fundamental goal?
Here's the bottom line. Your intuition, even when it's giving you a warning, is always guiding you towards growth and self-trust. It's trying to empower you. Anxiety's only goal is avoidance. It wants you to retreat, to play it safe, to stay small. It tries to protect you by limiting your world.
So, now we've got this amazing toolkit, but how do we actually use it? Well, telling these voices apart is a skill. It's just like tuning an old radio. The more you practice, the better you get at finding that one clear, quiet signal underneath all the static.
It's really a simple 3-step process. First, the second you feel that internal conflict, just pause. Take a deep breath, create a little space for yourself. Second, mentally run through our 7 checks. What's the tone, the feeling, the focus? And then third, as that loud noise of anxiety starts to fade away, just listen for what's left. That's the voice you want to learn to trust.
This really sums it all up, doesn't it? The most important messages we ever get are often the quietest. The real challenge isn't that our intuition isn't speaking to us, it's that anxiety is shouting so loudly that we just can't hear it. The key is learning how to turn down the volume on the fear.
So here's my challenge to you. As you go about your day, just take a moment to pause, to breathe, and to really listen. Past all the noise, what is that quiet, calm, centered voice, your intuition, trying to tell you right now? Thanks for tuning in.